Order! Order in the court! The judge's voice boomed as he tapped his gavel with a smirk. His piercing eyes locked onto the young woman standing at the witness stand. He leaned forward slightly, his amusement evident. And you, just some quiet nobody, huh? Elena lifted her head, her expression calm but unwavering. Her fingers tightened around the book she held, but her voice remained steady. Are you speaking to me, sir? The judge let out a low chuckle, shaking his head. Who else? A girl who barely speaks yet dares to stand in my courtroom, wasting everyone's time? A ripple of laughter moved through the courtroom. The prosecutor, a middle-aged man in a pristine suit, smirked while leaning back in his chair. Elena felt the weight of dozens of eyes on her, waiting to see her crumble. But she didn't. Being silent doesn't mean I am weak, she said, her voice firm. The judge raised an eyebrow, his smirk widening. Oh, so now the quiet girl has words? Tell me, Miss Elena, do you honestly believe anyone here cares what you have to say? The courtroom fell into a tense silence. The defense attorney, a young man who had barely spoken since the trial began, shifted uncomfortably. The jury exchanged skeptical glances. Elena took a slow breath, lifted her chin, and locked eyes with the judge. The truth doesn't need permission to be heard. A murmur spread through the room. The judge's smirk faltered just slightly, and his fingers tightened around the gavel. His amusement was beginning to wear thin. You believe you hold the truth? Elena took a step forward, her grip on the book loosening. Justice isn't about power. It's about what's right. And right now, you're trying to silence me. Because you're afraid of what I have to say. The room gasped. The prosecutor straightened in his seat, his smirk vanishing. The judge's expression darkened as he leaned back in his chair. His laughter this time was hollow, forced. You think you're brave, don't you? Elena didn't hesitate. I don't think I know. The air in the courtroom thickened. The prosecutor shot a glance at the judge, as if expecting him to shut her down. The spectators murmured louder, feeling the shift in power. The judge exhaled through his nose, drumming his fingers against his desk. You came here thinking you could challenge the system? The law is not on your side, Miss Elena. Elena tilted her head slightly. No, sir, the law is not on your side. A ripple of shocked gasps filled the room. The judge's nostrils flared. His gavel trembled slightly in his grip. He was losing control. The defense attorney, sensing the shift, finally spoke up. Your Honor, my client has the right to be heard. The judge slammed his gavel down. Enough! His voice echoed through the courtroom. You don't dictate how I run my courtroom! Elena didn't flinch. Her voice was soft, yet it cut through the silence like a blade. A courtroom is not yours to control, sir. It belongs to the people, and they are listening now. The judge's expression hardened. His fingers gripped the gavel so tightly, his knuckles turned white. The room was deathly silent, the weight of Elena's words hanging in the air. You call me a quiet nobody, she said, her voice unwavering, but quiet people are the ones who change the world. The judge's lips parted, but no words came out. His authority, his arrogance, both had cracked under the weight of her conviction. Elena took one final step forward, placing the book firmly on the stand. She turned on her heel, her footsteps echoing in the silent courtroom as she walked away. Not a single person spoke. The judge remained frozen, his gavel motionless. For the first time in his career, he had no control over the room. And for the first time, Elena's silence was the loudest thing in the courtroom.